Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And today is the day, my friends. Preseason hockey is here, and our New Jersey Devils will take to the ice at Prudential Center, hosting the New York Islanders tonight. I'll be there. I'll get into all that more. But we wrapped up days 2 and 3 of on-ice action in training camp, and a familiar face has returned. Dawson Mercer, fresh off signing his 3-year, $12 million deal after missing 1 day of on-ice activity at camp. His agent and Fitz finally get it done. 3 years, $12 million. Dawson is back. There you see him on the ice. And by all accounts, Dawson Mercer looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He looked like he was buzzing around out there. Every other guys and Keefe, everyone singing his praises. And it looks like Dawson is going to be looking to take the next step, as he should be a full-time top 6 player for this Devils club in this 24-25 season. I'm hoping he kills it in this role, and I think he will. Glad the deal got done, finally behind us. And one thing I gathered from watching all of the interviews that the team put out is that there seems to be a genuine excitement surrounding the team. I am pumped. I've told you guys, I believe on paper, this team is a better and improved version of the 22-23 New Jersey Devils that, as you all know, had that franchise record, 112-point season, and a beautiful 7-game series victory over the New York Rangers. But that team was good, and to me, this team is better. All of the main pieces are still here with upgrades in net. Jacob Markstrom, a legitimate number 1 goalie in this league, now in net for the Devils. Dylan and Pesce added to the blue line. I mean, wow, a extra seasoning of Luke Hughes. I just don't see how everyone isn't thinking the way I am, and that this team is a better version of that team. I firmly believe that. It comes through in the interviews. Guys seem pumped. The new guys seem pumped to be here. It seems like Keefe is really, honing in on what this group needs to do, and everyone talks about the pace. That's the one thing every single player talks about, is the way Keefe's practices are up-tempo, very structured. He's very to the point. All the players know exactly what Keefe wants from them, and I think it is going to be a special season for us as fans. I haven't been this pumped for a season, in years. I was very pumped for this last season, coming off that 22-23 season, but the excitement kind of fizzled quickly with all the injuries and things. But this is one of the most anticipated seasons for me in quite a long time, and I believe this team is going to do special things. I really do, but the excitement and everything comes through in the interviews. If you haven't seen them, check them out on the Devils channel. I love watching all that stuff. I watch literally every single thing they put out. You can't give me enough. Give me more. And we go from there. So now it's looking like the picture's getting a little clearer. And I believe on opening night, these are the groupings we are going to see for our forwards. And we have Timomeier on the left wing. You all know how I feel about that. I hope I'm wrong here. Timo should be on the right, but whatever. We'll see what happens. But overall, Timo, Jack, Jesper Bratt, lethal top line. And then the second line of Tatar, Hischier, Mercer. A third line comprised of Palat, Halla, Nason. And the fourth line, the meat line, Cotter, Lazar, and Bastian. And you look at the forwards on paper and you're like, this looks like a pretty solid group. Pretty solid group. I'm curious to see, if there's any tinkering, how soon they tinker. But on paper, I love the lines. I have no complaints outside of Timo being on the left side. And in the interviews that did come out, Lazar was talking about the hands and the skill of Cotter, as was Sheldon Keefe. And I think the sky is the limit for Cotter, I really believe. When we traded for him, after hearing Fitzy talk about him and then watching some of his highlights and doing some deep dive research on him, it does seem like his potential is much more. And Keefe even mentioned in his interview that, they're starting Cotter off on this fourth line, but from what they've seen, it seems like he very well could play himself off of that fourth line. Now, I have no preference either way. It's not my team to coach, obviously. If the balance is there and all 4 lines are kind of firing on all cylinders with Cotter on the fourth line, then great. Obviously, I'm sure Cotter wants to be playing on the third or second line, but if him on the fourth line gives us that balance you really need to win in this league and go far in the playoffs, then I'm all for it. But I do think we will see tinkerings throughout the season, and I do think Cotter is going to be one of those guys that could potentially play his way off of that fourth line also known as the meat line, but I do like them as a fourth line. I think he could be an incredible fit there, but he may be best served higher up in the lineup. Time will tell. I will definitely be keeping an eye on that. I think it's an interesting kind of plot to watch. And then we get to the D pairings. Brendan Dillon and Dougie Hamilton. Wow. Wow, those are two big boys. Love to see it. Dougie's going to be ripping bombs from the point all season long. Dillon's going to be crunching people. Like I said, these guys are both massive, coming in at nearly 13 feet combined and 450, 460 pounds of man patrolling the blue line. I think they're going to be a great pairing. And then we're going to see Siegenthaler and Kovacevic for now as the second pairing, and Kovacevic temporarily filling the spot that will be Brett Pesce's when he's finally back from his injury, which they said he's week to week. So I'm imagining opening night we will see Siegenthaler with Pesce, barring, they're not being secretive and lying about the injury. I'd have to believe they're not. So we'll see Siegenthaler and Pesce as the second pairing, and then Santerihatakka and Shimo Nemec on the third pairing, with Hatakka filling in for the injured Luke Hughes. I think Hatakka is going to really impress people. I liked what I saw from him in the small doses we saw him last season. The interviews during camp or before camp started, Hatakka was very confident. He said he believes he's going to be a full-time NHL player. Anything short of that is a failure for him, and he seems very motivated and very confident in his abilities. And now with Luke being injured, I think he's definitely there to start opening night, and he might give the coaches some hard decisions to make when Luke Hughes returns. But love the pairings. Dillon, Hamilton, Siegenthaler, and Kovacevic for the second right now, with ultimately Pesce opening night. Hatakka and Nemec until Luke comes back. Love those pairings. I think our defense overall is just going to be a dream. The improvement from last season to this year, I think, is going to be drastic. I really do. And especially when the improvement in goal is drastic as well. Markstrom will bail the defense out on some nights for mistakes. Mistakes happen, breakdowns happen, and Markstrom will be there to make a big save when we need it. And so last season, again, we had lots of breakdowns, defensive collapses, and a lot of times the puck ended up in the back of the net because we were getting abysmal goaltending, and that's not the case this year. I'm going to make a separate video with some predictions from Markstrom and a couple different guys as well as the team. Those will be coming out in a week or two as well. But like what I'm seeing here, and I think the defense and goaltending as a unit is going to be incrementally better than last year. And then we get to special teams. What are we thinking for the power play, guys? Well, courtesy of Amanda Stein, Devils power play 1, Timomeier, jackhughes, Jesper Bratt, nicohischier, and Dougie Hamilton at the point. What a lethal power play. It's essentially the top line of Timo, Jack, and Bratt with the addition of nicohischier and Dougie running the point. Absolutely love it. I think this power play unit is going to score a lot of goals for us this season when we have the man advantage, and it's going to be a weapon that we need to make sure is producing at a high rate. We started off the season last year, the power play was on fire, and then all the injuries happened, and the whole world fell apart for us. But the power play started off at a ridiculously high percentage. I forget what it was. I want to say at one point it was like 30-something. But I expect this unit to do severe damage. And then we get to power play 2. Shimo Nemec at the point with Palat, Nason, Cotter, and Tatar. I kind of like it. This is a little bit of a grittier look unit. I think they're going to be scoring some dirty goals, getting in the crease, getting active. And I think this unit's going to be interesting as well. I do think with the second power play unit, we might see some more tinkering over time. And then Amanda notes Mercer, who is not in a power play jersey but has firmly held that position for the past few years, is likely to either rotate there today or at a future practice. So again, these aren't set in stone. This is training camp. We didn't even go through the preseason yet. But I do think you're going to see that second unit have a little bit of a little grittier identity. And I imagine Mercer will get his chance in that unit at times as well. He was asked, Sheldon Keefe was asked about it, and he wouldn't commit, but he said, we look at everything and it's still early, yada, yada. Typical coach type stuff. So I do believe we'll see Mercer at points of the season get rotated into that second power play grouping as well. And one thing I've been really waiting for, a decent look at the mask of Jacob Markstrom. And I actually didn't go digging for this on my own, courtesy of my man Gem Card Collecting. He sent me a little message with this, so thank you for sending it over, Gem Card Collecting. I've been talking about this for days now. And there's what I believe to be the clearest shot of Jacob Markstrom's mask we have seen thus far. And it's a work of art, guys. If you don't appreciate goalie masks, I don't know. It's just the ultimate the ultimate art piece on Jacob Markstrom's head. Supposedly, I think he might have a different practice mask or game mask. I'm not sure. A lot of goalies do. A lot of goalies don't. I haven't really done the deep dive into what his situation is. I do believe Markstrom will at least be dressed for the preseason game tonight against the Islanders, and I will be sure to be getting as many photos and videos as I can to share with you guys of the Markstrom mask, because I know a lot of you are interested in this sort of stuff as well, and I'll definitely be there looking for that, amongst other things. But opening up the preseason tonight against the Islanders, we are unfortunately going to be without Jackhughes, timomeier, nemec, or Dawson Mercer. So while we will have tons of NHL regulars in the lineup, it is going to be far from full strength when you're missing those guys. So again, we might not see the closest thing we might see to an NHL roster fully top to bottom will maybe be in the second or third preseason game. I would believe at least one of those games we'll see close to the real thing. But we'll see tons of NHL guys tomorrow, but we'll be without Jack, Timo, Nemec, Dawson Mercer. I'll be there trying to get any interesting videos and things that I think you guys might find interesting. Obviously, the Markstrom mask is going to be a big priority for me on the evening. But anything else I find interesting, I'll definitely be back tomorrow night sharing that with you, and also talking about the game and what we saw and or learned during this first preseason game. But I am jacked, guys. I am jacked beyond belief. I cannot believe that tonight I will be at The Rock watching New Jersey Devils preseason hockey with some of the new look guys in the lineup, at least some of them. I'm excited to see Cotter. I'm obviously excited to see Markstrom, Nason. I'm excited to be there at The Rock to see this new look New Jersey Devils team. Throw anything out there in the comments about what I talked about, anything with the preseason game going down tonight, anything with any of the new guys, everything New Jersey Devils hockey. Throw it out there in the comments. I love talking to you all. Thank you for watching. I will be back soon. Keep your eye on the channel for everything Devils hockey. You know I'm going to be bringing it all season long. Hopefully get some cool clips from the game. And that's it. I'll be back very soon. If you're newer to the channel, poke around. Check out some of the things that I put out in the last couple of weeks. I'm working on a few very special projects that I'll be sharing with you guys in the very near future. Some really cool stuff. And that's it. I'm rambling on here. Preseason hockey is here. I couldn't be happier. I will talk to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.